First of all, may I see your ID?
Yeah, this is my passport.
Okay, great. Thanks. Very nice. Now, what's, may I know your full name?
Myself, another one, and you can address me by my first name, Hina.
Very good then. Ina, where do you come from?
So I live in Punjab. That's a state in India, and there I reside in Rajpura. That's a small town in Punjab.
We're going to talk about your country. Can you tell me something about your country?
Yeah, so I live in India. That's India is in Asia, and we have a lot of diverse religions in India. So my country is a mix of cultures, and there are a lot of different religions that are there in India. We have Punjabis, we have Muslims, we have Christians, we have Hindus, and there are many others as well.
So tell me which part of your country do most people live in?
Most people live in the central division. There are, like uh, my country has a lot of population, so people are scattered. So mostly people live in the central part, but there are variety of people who live in north, south, west, and east. Eastern are less popular regions, but there are a lot of people that reside in the central part. Like Maharashtra is a big state in my country where a lot of people live, and they have Maharashtrian culture, and that is the central, I can say, the part of India where most of the people live.
You don't have to go and repeat it three times, but it's a point noted very well. So where is your country located?
It's in Asia continent.
Tell me about the main industries in your country.
So as I mentioned, there are a lot of diverse religion. There are a lot of diversity among people. So there is a lot of different industries that are there in India. Uh, so we have mix. We have you can say timber industry. We have clothes. We have clothing industry. We have petroleum. We have many other manufacturing industries. So like timber, then manufacturing to
Okay.
furniture and many other goods.
Okay, fine. So try to make it nice and smooth. You don't have to repeat what you've already said that we have clothes industries, and then you come back and say we have clothes industries. At the same time, if you're not getting any more, it doesn't really matter. The data is not what they're after. Your knowledge is not what they are after. It's your level of English they are concerned with. So you can just say there are lots of industries like cloth industries and shoe industries and etc. There's so many. You don't have to really point out, it's nice thinking that you're showing that you're going to grab more things, but I can tell you some of the mega industries we have all kinds of industries, cycle industries, we have aluminum industries, we have steel industries, we have textile industries, a better name for clothing industry. We have all kinds of productions. We also have agricultural goods and agricultural products industries, many others. Or you know like if you want a fast answer, if you want a ready answer, keep it ready that way, right? So remember, their main focus is just on your quick output of the questions answer in English. What are some of the good things and some of the bad things about living in your country?
So let's talk about good things first. So India is a land of diverse religion. let's say, diverse nation. So there's a lot of culture diversity that you see. There are a lot of cultures, a lot of people whom you meet, whom you learn. So that kind of things are very good in India. And talking about bad things, there's less of development, and uh, you can say there are not proper healthcare, there's not proper education. So these are some of the effects which are not there in our country, though they are developing, but I won't say they are up to the mark. So that ways I consider that's the bad part of living in my country.
Describe a place where you have a rest other than home. You should say what the place is, how often you go there, what you do there, and why you feel relaxed there. I need to prepare for it. See if you can add vocabulary. Okay, start. Start, please. Are you there? Oh, looks like we lost you. Yeah, your signal's gone red. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, start.
Uh, Okay, apart from my home, I like to rest in a farmhouse. So we have a farmhouse which is at little remote from the city, that is around 100 kilometers from where we live. That's in a small village. So it's built like it's a small cottage, and there's a lot of green field around it. uh, so I usually like to visit it on my long weekends. So whenever there's a long weekend coming, we plan our trips. Or either ways, if I don't have long weekends, I have a lot of work, then I probably would visit it in 2 months' time for sure, because it's a place that helps me to relax and rejuvenate myself from my work life. So it's a place where I feel very relaxed, and it's a scenic beauty. So I really like to go there and be away from my work and this city life's hustle bustle, and spend my weekend with my family or friends. So we usually plan a trip with family or friends. We have a long weekend, we gather up some stuff, and we just take our cars and we move to that farmhouse. uh, I really like the place because that is like not a city vibe, and that is like a village vibe. We have a small house, and we also have gardening space. So we usually like to do gardening. We like to relax, and we feel very refreshed after visiting it. As from the city life, we are very tired, so it gives us a place which is you can say very relaxing and very soothing. We have a great time, and we cook, we garden, and we do a lot of fun activities there. So that is like a
Okay,
place where I would
you
say
can
it's more
stop.
relaxing.
Okay, great. First of all, fantastic. You came out of the holidays and you gave me 2 minutes speaking without any delay. And it went past a little bit over 2 minutes. Actually, it was 2 minutes, 10 seconds. I didn't want to stop you, but I just stopped you because it was enough. And you did add some of the natural vocabularies. I counted at least 4 or 5 of them coming out very smoothly from you. The flow was there, the fluency is there, no problem in any pronunciations whatsoever. A little bit of us, but most of them, or 99% of them, are totally natural. So I really couldn't deduct marks for that. I was looking for opportunities where I can deduct marks. Now I have already trained you sufficient to have a higher score, but now I do want you to aim for even higher, because really your capability is much more than what you can take right now. So for that, I want you to add more vocabularies. Imagine 4 or 5 vocabularies are giving you immensely high score. Imagine what 10 to 20 vocabs will do for you if you are able to use them successfully. For example, you did use the word refreshing. It is a very refreshing place, or it refreshes us, whatever. You could have also used rejuvenated, right? And I think you have used this one in the past.
Yes.
So rejuvenated and refreshed is similar, but it comes out a little bit later, especially when you have to repeat the line. Whenever you're trying to repeat the line, you want to make sure that newer vocabularies are coming out, newer, different words are coming out. So the message of English language clarity is there, and then it looks flamboyant. It will look much better on you. Okay. Overall, fantastic, superb. So let's focus on the vocabulary just now. First of all, you're going to tell me, did you open up the place vocabulary or not?
No, I wrote myself. I have written one, 5 words,
Which ones?
5 vocabulary: leisure, hustle bustle, amazing, scenic beauty, fabulous, flamboyant.
You did not use
And
flamboyant, but I think you used all the
no, I
others.
did not use, yes, and rejuvenating I used myself.
Yeah, so that is fantastic. So if you're able to use those words, and let me tell you, I thought you were not preparing for the vocabulary this time. I thought all of these words just came out naturally from you. So if you prepare them and you produce them naturally, that's even a double plus on you. Okay, that's exactly what I wanted. And so you're able to do that. So now we can just dump more vocabulary on.
The first I'll use stopover. So we usually have a stopover over the weekends, over the long weekends on the farmhouse, and we commute by cars.
Okay,
Uh,
stop.
there's
Okay, stop. You don't have to use commute. Commute is used for daily travel, so you're not traveling daily. Okay, so commute would be like for work or school or college, something like that. Keep that word reserved. Now you know the exact meaning of it. You shouldn't go wrong in it. Okay, unlike rejuvenate, which is exact copy and replica of refreshing, commute is not the exact same thing as traveling. Commute means daily travel, means up and down, going and coming. That is called commuting. Okay, again, I lost your video. Okay, am I, okay, yeah, you're back, you're back, you're back. Thank God. So,
yeah. So there's no agenda as such planned. We just go there to relax.
okay, stop. So if you like 2 vocabularies, like after agenda, you might like curriculum or something like that. You can incorporate them into one line. That's even better. If you want to speak it
Yes.
combined, nobody's stopping you. Okay,
Yeah.
continue after agenda.
Uh, so we don't plan. Agenda is schedule I can use together.
Yeah.
So there is no agenda or schedule as such planned. We just go there for relaxing. Rejuvenated I've already used. Recreational. There are some recreational activities as well that we do there. We can have something like do on the farm.
Just say anything. We can play games or we can play football, whatever,
Yeah.
basketball. Okay, what else?
So that the place is like a scenic beauty because there's a
That
lot
one
of
you used it.
greenery around.
Yeah. Okay. Next. Okay, no thinking, just use the next word. I'll tell you if it's right or wrong. What's the next
Place
word?
is inhabited. Place is inhabited by local people or
No.
villagers.
In this case, you should say the place is less inhabited than our city location. Okay, the
Okay.
place is less inhabited than our city location, so we really have a jolly good time and totally get rejuvenated, etc., etc. Okay, next.
Monumental. There's no monumental thing.
Okay,
I can say there are monumental temples there.
yeah, you can say something like that, or you can even reverse it and use it because I am telling you to use it in the classroom context by force. But over there, you're going to skip many of these which you don't like.
Yeah, yeah,
So in this
yeah.
case, you could have skipped it. But in classroom, I won't practice. So you can even go negative. There are no monumental places there to mention, but it is a peaceful area. So like very quickly, you can even produce a negative language. I'm just showing you that all words are possible in almost all contexts. Okay, continue.
The next is allure.
Yeah, allure
Allure
means
is something like
it attracts
it's
you.
something I like.
Yeah, it attracts.
Yeah.
Basically, the exact word is attract. Attracts.
Scenic beauty allures us to visit the farmhouse at least once in 2 months.
Yeah. So you should say it properly. The scenic beauty of that farmhouse really allures us to forcefully visit it at least once in a month. So that's really nice, like, comfortable way, the way you are speaking. All vocabulary must come out naturally. Like you are already able to do that, but by practice, you'll get them all. So you like this word, you mark it and you use it. You think it's a little bit too tough for you, then you can just mark it wrong and just continue using it in class practice. Or you can use simple words like attracted. I get attracted to it so much that I feel like going. But allure is slightly better off in this situation than attracted. What's the next word?
Hustle and bustle
You spoke that next.
already. It's meandering. Meandering.
Sorry, what's the spelling? No.
Meandering.
That is meandering. So you just don't use that word unless like you're going to a hill station and when you see roads, they are turning back and forth like this. This is called meandering. Okay, so it's really mentioned for the purpose of mentioning way to the place. So if your place is like on a hill station, you can say, well, it's not an easy place. It's located on a hill station. So we have very meandering roads. The roads don't go straight. They just keep curving and turning around all the time. That is where meandering will come. You don't like it, you can skip it. Right, next.
Okay. Roaming.
Roaming.
I like to roam in the green fields
Yeah.
along with my friends.
I like to roam in the green fields over there with my friends or even on my own. What's next?
Wandering.
Wandering is the same as roaming. So if you have used roaming and you want to mention more regarding it, you will use wandering. I like wandering around there, like I said before. So that's just like, oh my God, she said roaming. She even knows she has said that and she's focusing on another word. It's double brilliance. Okay, next.
Landscape.
Okay, if it has a landscape, like a picture like landscape, you can say it's a beautiful landscape, or you can say we like to take some landscape pictures of it during sunset or sunrise or anything. Make any sense in sentence? Let's go ahead and do the discussion topics which are exactly related to this particular cue card. Okay. First of all, is it hard to find quiet places in cities?
Yes, it's hard to find quiet places because the city is majorly, let's say, populated and there's a lot of industries and big buildings. So it's really hard to find a quiet place.
Why is it quieter in the countryside?
Because it is less inhabited and there are not much traffic and not much buildings and not much industries on that side. That is why it's quieter and it's more greener.
Fantastic, good answer. However, I don't want you to start your immediate answers with a because that is a connector and you're supposed to use it like, you know. So start with something like this. I think that these countryside places are more quiet or because then you're okay. Okay. So can
Yeah,
you write it down somewhere that do not start any sentences with because in your speaking, unless it's a continuation of the previous question's answer, in which case it's like
no sense
normal.
connect.
Yeah, you just kind of make it look more professional, more formal. They want formal answers, so formal answers with I think the countryside is quieter because then you give the answer, it will be much better off. So overall that was still fantastic. So answer this: why do people go to quiet places?
I think people need a break and they want to rejuvenate themselves and get away from a busy hustle bustle city schedule and go to a scenic place and have a relaxing time so that they can just have a
Good time.
good time.
Yeah, make it fast, don't think too much.
Yes,
They're not going to give you marks for thinking, you know they're going to deduct marks for thinking too much. Okay, compared with young people, do old people prefer to live in quiet places?
well, I think yes. Old people like to live in a quieter place. They don't want to be surrounded by a lot of city life with a lot of traffic, a lot of buildings. I think they like to spend time in a quieter place, and I would prefer that my parents should also live in a quieter, greener place than living in the busy city life.
Why?
First, I think that a smaller place or is a more connected type of place where people know each other, and it's not like a fast-paced life. Whereas in a city life, it's a fast-paced life, and people usually don't connect with each other so much. So I like that. Old age people or let's say you can say my parents, I would like them to live in a connected world and be together with their own known people rather than living in a city life because they are not working, so they have a lot of free time and I would not like them to spend it in a busy traffic filled city life.
Right. My next question is: do you know other quiet places?
Apart from what I mentioned as a farmhouse where I usually go, I think there are several hill stations where people will like to visit for their leisure time. And I think nearby my place, there are some hill stations like Shimla, Manali, and in Himachal, there's Jail and a lot of people like to visit there and like to have a relaxing weekend and they would like to spend their time especially in summers they would like to visit there.
Do you need a quiet place when you're working?
uh, well, I think I need a quiet place sometimes when I'm working because I would like to think more on the work or the project that I'm doing. Whenever I need to focus on the details and I would like to, let's say, draw an architectural pattern of how the project will be conducted, then I would go to a quiet place, take my things, and sum up my work. And then I would like to come back and discuss with my team. So the quiet place gives there's no disturbance. So I would like to take my work, do it, and then come back.
Good enough, except in the starting you said when I working. So keep focusing. You already know you're supposed to say when I am working.
Right?
You're not allowed to miss that at any point. They will catch it just like I am catching it here. So why do people like to spend time in quiet places?
Well, I think the major reason for people spending time there is rejuvenating, getting away from the hustle bustle, traffic filled, fast paced city life to having somewhere that is more relaxing. And as you know, that cities are a concrete jungle type of stuff. So people would like to visit a greener area where that would be scenic beauty or where they can be close to the nature. So I think people like to have that kind of weekends.
One last question I want to ask you. Do you know anyone who likes noise?
Well, I think a lot of people would not agree with having a relaxed weekend like we were talking about. They would like to live in a noisy area because I think that gives them a sense of living in a fast world and not slowing them down. So I think everybody has a mixed kind of nature. So I think there are people who like to live in the noisy area as well.
Okay. Well, good enough meandering around on the questions answered, but that's not exactly the answer. What was my question? Do you remember?
Uh, People like to live in noisy
No.
areas.
Do you know anyone who likes noise? So you must actually also point out someone. So you can say all of that and quickly take it back and say, so I think my mother is one of them who really likes noisy areas because